Yes, that is the question. Averted or just delayed? Yes, I probably should have cleaned it before now. I can't believe it was still working. Let's see what the inside looks like. Oh, it's pretty scary. Pretty scary. It's going to be a lot of crud to get out of. This is what I've gotten out of the sleeve so far. And there's more of that to do as well. Still going. Okay, here's the beginning. Let's see how it goes. Trying to get this cleaned off. Well, this is not a highly thorough cleaning, but I think it's going to work again now. And yeah, I may clean that around that a little bit more. Here's the debris field. There's one of them. Here's another of them. And here's another of them. And that doesn't count what I cleaned off the fan. And that doesn't count what I got in this. And that doesn't count what I got in here. Oh, but I was really, really impressed that this thing hadn't shut down in so long. I thought maybe there was a break-in time or something. It was just going to run. But obviously it's going to need to be cleaned every once in a while. Let's hook this back up and see if the red warning siren has stopped going off. And currently the answer is no. And I'm getting no lights. I've got supposedly power, but I'm not getting lights. Well, I don't know. I don't know if I'm gonna find out that I can look some stuff up and maybe find a way to make it right, or if I'm buying a new laser. I'm not sure. But as far as I'm concerned, I've been on borrowed time with this thing since like the second week because I thought I had ruined it way back then. So, I think I'm going to go to bed and I'll see if I can figure it out, maybe with some forum information or something, maybe tomorrow. Blessed and grateful. Well, it's not working yet. Let's take a look. I don't know if I'll be able to show you very well, but let's try. Yeah, this may not work very well, but okay. Let's see. Yeah, you can see there's stuff on that lens. Now, the question is that what is making the lens alarm go off? I've cleaned it with alcohol 2 or 3 times before I finally just gave up and took it all the way out of the system. Gonna try this and not sure. Well, I don't know what'll happen yet. Let's find out. I don't think that my lint-free cloth is very clean anymore. I'm not sure how that happened. But, yeah, you can see, man, wouldn't it be great if that were it? Let's find out. I'm definitely not claiming to be good at this, and I think I'm proving that non-claim. I think it's cleaner, and I think, well, yeah. You get the light just right. I'm not sure it is much cleaner. That's alcohol on it. And I'm going to see if now I can actually get it clear again. It'd just blow my mind if this is actually what the problem was. I am totally blessed and grateful. Because You hear this sound in the background. That is the laser working again. And honestly, I don't know why or how, other than it's a blessing. I cleaned it. It didn't work. I cleaned it again. It didn't work. I went to bed. We had a day rained out of work. And did I get up early and get cracking and really? No. I laid in bed half the morning listening to an audiobook and trying to decide if I was going to come down and check the thing again or get on the phone and buy $1,000 replacement laser. I came downstairs, I turned it on, and it worked. I have no explanation. I don't need one. I just need to be thankful, and I am. So here's where we're at now. Since the whatever happened, I have been really glad to be able to get back to it here, and I'm just hoping that I can get done. I got to deliver, or actually the folks came and picked them up, 150 of the spatulas out of 325. At this point, I think I have 50 upstairs, and I've got all of these that have been run through the laser but have not yet been cleaned. And I'm not sure I've shown this really well or not, but there's a lot of like creosote, soot type stuff that gets on this. You can see that the R is actually almost, the inside of that's almost covered. This O looks so much different when it's clean. And there's some little ghosting on the edges here, little, that really looks a whole lot better when it's clean. So here again is the process. I'm going to spray a little alcohol on this and see if I can keep it in. Let's do this. Try to keep some light on it and keep it in focus. But I start usually down here because that's where the most of it is, and I try to get that out. And you see the edges are still not quite done there. I really like for it to be as complete as possible. So, better. Now, let's see what else we're going to get off of here. Notice how that ghosting on the edges comes off too. But you can see a little there, and you still see a little bit right here and here. Amazingly, this stuff does actually come off. I may have to spritz this again. Yeah, I'm not sure about that, if that's the wood or if that is something to clean. Let me take a look. Yeah, I think that's actually the wood. Okay, let's try another one just to show the whole thing here. I have to change this cloth out every once in a while because, of course, it gets just loaded with crud. Let me put the light on this side so that I'm not in the way. Let's see. Yeah, that's about the worst one I've seen in a while. Let's do this. Oh, whoops, sorry. Okay, so there is that. Let's make sure we're getting focused here. Okay. And it is pretty stubborn. You see that ghosting come off there. And sometimes the wood is variable. These are very inexpensively made, from what I understand from the owner. And so I'm not sure it's even all the same kind of wood. And so sometimes it burns a little deeper. Sometimes it cleans a little worse. Sometimes the soot actually gets into some of the grain of the wood. Sometimes it doesn't. Just kind of going with it as whatever happens, happens. As I try to get it looking at the best I can. And this one, ooh, yeah, finally. I think we're going to get that cleaned up. That one was tough, but that's better. You can see the hole cut out of the letter. Maybe just a little bit more. Yeah, okay. I'm going to call it good. All right, well, I've got a pile here, and I'm trying to get, I'd like to get 100 done today. I've been doing this since about 11:30, and it is 6:30 now. But I might just get 75. I'll have to check and see here. But I'm going to try for 100, and that should leave me with maybe just 50 to do, and I might be able to get those done tomorrow. If you're watching this video, hopefully in the notes, I can show, yes, I did get the rest of them done, or no, still got some ways to go. The important thing, though, is the simple fact that there's a blue light on there instead of a red flashing light with a crazy beeping sound that will kind of drive you crazy if you noticed it earlier in the video. Thank you, Lord. I'm going to try to get this project done. Thanks for watching, too. Well, this is getting very interesting. This is the last two. And if the laser cutter works on these last two, then it will be a huge blessing. Thank you, Lord, that this project is done. Let's see. Now, it actually stopped working again today. And I thought that I was going to have to say I couldn't do it. Here's how they're coming out. Still got some cleanup to do, but they're pretty clean as far as the cutting goes. But one of the activators, one of the homing activators, was not being recognized by the computer, so it wouldn't go back into home position. And that meant that it wasn't going to be cutting in the right places. But I think that it's been working since I kind of tinkered with it a little bit. I don't have any idea why it worked, but it did. And I kept getting an error message. It wasn't the flashing red, it just wouldn't home right. But it is homing correctly. I can hit this here. You'll see in the bottom corner right here, watch it hit the X and the Y. Adjust to the X and the Y. Okay, it's doing it. And here we go. And while those last ones are cutting, I will be cleaning the next to last. And just about there. Okay, there's what it looks like to begin with. Here's what it looks like now. And by the way, this is the second of these that I've found that wouldn't fit in the jig because it's slightly crooked. The wood is slightly bent. Well, it just warped somehow and would not fit in the jig, but it did get cut. Oof, thank you. And
Here it goes. We're finishing up the R in ORG. I think we're going to make it here. And let me say again, thank you, Lord. There it goes. Last letter. Got a cool project coming up next. I definitely need the machine to work, but what a relief this is to get these cut. Their fundraising event is set for mid-July, and I think I'll be able to get the rest of this batch off to them this week. And that's the last two. Kind of like that smoke going there.